The COVID-19 pandemic has left many, if not all of us, wondering what the future will hold. Some of us sitting and waiting for the news to shift into a more positive light, others stuck or confused about making the decision to move to a senior living community during these uncertain times. If you find yourself in this position, please know that you are not alone. Many older adults and their families are unsure about what the best course of action is. Emotions are running wild. We can't predict what the next few months are going to bring. And the effects of the pandemic, socially, emotionally, and physically, are rising to new heights. We are Lauren Watts and Erin DiCarlo of Dovetail Companies. And today we are here to share with you that now, more than ever, is the time to make a move. And we're going to talk a little bit about that here today. Albeit virtually, I sit here with you today, coming off the heels of sharing an incredibly emotional moment with two of my clients. They are a beautiful couple that have been married over 40 years, who unfortunately were separated by one another at the start of this pandemic. But after a great deal of advocacy and support from their family, the professionals who have followed them for many years, and a senior living community that were ready to welcome them into their new chapter with open arms and a process and a procedure, they were reunited in a community where they now feel safe. They are surrounded by their belongings, their love, and professionals ready to support them every step of the way. I share this with you today as many older adults are facing difficult decisions, whether it may be you and you're thinking about a new lifestyle, or unfortunately, you might find yourself in a crisis and needing to make a move. My business partner, Erin DiCarlo, and I often talk about what we call the negativity bias. And this is a idea that has been out there for a really long time, where for every one negative emotion or thought or something that we are hearing, maybe it's through the media, we have to physically combat that with three positive emotions. So if you can think about what you're doing in that time frame, it can be a full-time job having to do that, right? Really taking one negative idea and turning that into three positive things to really kind of help shift your mindset with something. I go back to my meeting with my clients and having the conversation with delivering heart-wrenching news to them. I really left feeling a fullness and positivity in my heart, really because of their explanation of what life looks like now. It was emotions of great food, clear minds, healthy bodies. To this, I'm really reminded of the incredible that yet positive impact a difficult choice can really have in somebody's life and overall well-being. And that's what we're here to share with you today. It is words and phrases like people, courage and compassion, thankful, supported, hopeful, safe and happy, respect, creative, engaging, warm, peace of mind, friendly. That there is really a silver lining to this pandemic. We share these words and phrases as they are thoughts and pictures that are being painted for you directly from folks that might be in similar situations that really chose to make a move before or during the pandemic. And we recognize and understand that although no one decision is best for all, we empower you to think of the positive aspects with regards to your own well-being and overall quality of life. Because sometimes the smallest step in the right direction ends up being the biggest step of your life. And in this quote, it says, tiptoe if you must, but take this step. We really hope that some of these thoughts that are coming from residents that are living wonderful quality of life in communities today will one day be yours too, that you can share with others surrounding you, and that they will be constant reminders that we need to focus on combating the messages that are being conveyed by the news and society telling us something entirely different. Something like the world is unsafe to live in at this time. There are too many unknowns to make a move in the foreseeable future. There are messages that older adults have been living at home to describing their situation as fearful, isolated, unsure, anxious, confused, lonely, stuck, sad. scared, trying to remain hopeful, and unmotivated. And we recognize that although we can't control our circumstances, we all have the ability to choose how we respond to them. Something that I like to share with a lot of people is that only 10% of our happiness is really based on our circumstance. So, like anything in life, we must outweigh the risks and the benefits. And due to your unique circumstances, this is going to be a process that you have to go through. And we're going to share a little bit about what communities are doing to make this better for prospective residents and people that are moving in. But what I will tell you is that the reality is that people are actually declining at staggering rates, living in isolation at home. So ask yourself, is there a better alternative for you? Is staying at home doesn't change the way that you live your day-to-day life? In reality, in some situations, it's actually decreasing a person's ability for what they need. Looking at maybe your personal care services. What are you getting for prescriptions? Who is delivering that for you? Are you going to the doctor? Do you need meal delivery? What are things that are being brought to you at home? And who is it on your side that is actually overseeing all these people and ensuring that these providers and people that are bringing stuff to your home are actually COVID free? Is that something that's up to you, or do you feel as though it would be helpful to have somebody else overlooking and looking out for your own safety and well-being? We share this with you because senior communities have been tasked with ensuring all of their employees follow strict and safety guidelines, minimizing those risks. So going back to that 3-to-1 ratio of the negativity bias, we're here to tell you that now, tomorrow, and the next day, so many people are living safe, fulfilling lives in communities. And it's really thanks to the due diligence that's taking place at that level to ensure that your safety and your happiness is top priority. So the choice is yours. Ask yourself, are you ready for a change? If yes, commend yourself. Making the step to take the first step is oftentimes the hardest. I'm going to turn it over to Erin now, and we're going to talk a little bit about the process and policies that are taking place at the community level to ensure your safety.
So if you're still feeling a little unsure if a move for you or a loved one is a good time, we're going to provide a little peace of mind by giving you some insight into what these communities are doing today for their residents, for their staff, and for the family members. So the first are visitor policies, and obviously these vary from community to community. So we're going to implore you to ask detailed questions of these policies at the communities that you're considering for your loved one. But the visitor policy is a really important piece of this. Not just family visitors, but outside providers like a visiting nurse or a hospice provider, asking what's in place to ensure the safety of the residents by where are visitations happening? Are people meeting inside, outside? Are they providing virtual options? We know that a lot of providers have gotten really creative with the telehealth resources and virtual visits with family. And obviously, these protocols are minimizing COVID transfer risk. Lifestyle change. So this is really interesting. So the quarantine periods are an actual benefit. So we hear from some clients like, well, if I make a move, I have to quarantine in my new apartment for 14 days. Well, here's the thing about quarantining for 14 days in your new apartment. One, most of you are probably quarantining at home. We've noticed many of our clients have not left their home for a considerable amount of time, and 14 days is nothing in comparison to what they've been doing at home for the last, almost year or so. Second to that, it actually allows an opportunity for people to settle into their new space, get used to the, procedures in the community, activities and outings, meaning sometimes people, when they first move into a community, feel a little overwhelmed about jumping right in and getting started in the new community. And the quarantine has allowed people to kind of settle in a slower pace, which has been a positive for some of our clients. We've heard for feedback. And then the health policies, procedures, and protocols. what are the providers within that community? You know, when you have a nurse and a supportive team in a community overseeing the health and well-being of their residents and supporting with the telehealth visits, oftentimes you're getting more support and care than you are when you are at home, when people aren't coming into the home or managing, or you as a family member trying to manage from afar. So the overall health is able to be managed much better, typically with support systems within the senior living communities. And let's talk for a minute about just the overall well-being. These communities, we feel, have done a great job rising to the occasion of making sure that the emotional, the social well-being and emotional health of their residents is in check. You know, this is an opportunity where we've seen a lot of communities rise to the challenge of becoming creative in the social programming that they're offering. Some communities may have the actual physical space to allow for a socially distanced book club, for example, maybe in the large theater area, or others are able to provide live programming into the residents' rooms so they're able to participate in activities or physical exercise from the comfort of their apartment, but with the technology from the community brought into each individual room. Obviously, having a purpose and a reason to get up and participate in activities and social interaction each day definitely, many studies have shown, contribute to our overall well-being and health. And then the positive shifts by making these new connections, finding new talents and activities, things that you want to try that maybe you've never done in the past. People are starting to experience a better quality of life for the first time since the beginning of this pandemic by being in these communities and getting the support that may be needed. So if you've decided that now is the time for you to make a move and you're really considering these options, there's a really specific recommendation that we make about moving forward in the right direction. So you have to really understand the different options. Senior living can be a world of gray. It's not black and white. There are a lot of different communities with different management companies that operate differently and offer different services. So it's important that you make an informed decision about the different options that are available to you. One of the best ways to do that is work with a senior living expert. These are professionals that really understand the landscape in our area and can help you. One, they really get to know you, your unique set of needs, what you're looking for, what's important to you, and then also making a very specific targeted recommendation. So you're not having to run all over and look at a million different options. Depending on the community's protocol and your comfort level, every community we've worked with here in the marketplace is offering remote and virtual tours, which is great. You can literally walk through the community from the comfort and safety of your home to see in person and learn more about this community to see if it's the right fit for you. And then really important to ask the right questions. And again, working with a senior living expert to help you to structure these questions is important. But these are targeted questions to ask, hard questions about COVID protocol, about their current residents situation. How are people faring? How are people staying engaged? What are the testing protocols for their employees? So it's not a one size fits all solution. We talk a lot with our clients about location being a variable because people usually start with what's in my backyard, what community options are in my backyard. But actually, if you have what you have for needs and you are who you are for a person and what makes you happy and tick, so the location can be a variable that some families don't consider. So make sure, again, you're working with the right professional to cover that. Working with providers that are really well equipped and experienced during this time of COVID is absolutely imperative for a successful coordination and execution of your move. As you can imagine, there's many different professionals that families typically have to engage to get you safely from home to a community. And just to name a few, this is usually the packers, movers, real estate agents, downsizing specialists. Really depending on your situation, you may need an estate planning attorney or a financial planner. So it's important that your, what Lauren and I call professional tribe supporting you at this time has an expertise on how to handle this transition. Both Lauren and I have worked in senior living for many, many years, and we have witnessed firsthand how really difficult and overwhelming this decision and process could be. And that was before COVID. So now we add on the COVID stress and pressure, and it's just debilitating for some. So we've created Dovetail Companies to really streamline this process. We offer our clients one point of contact for any and all services they may need when transitioning from home to a community. And what this does, it allows our clients and their families the emotional space needed to focus on this process while we seamlessly handle all of the logistics. We have extensive experience supporting our clients through this pandemic. We have worked and operated to support our families from day one, and we continue to do so now. But the one constant that we have seen throughout this pandemic is the relief that our clients and their families express once the move has finally been made. I think the unknown and the uncertainty of making the move is kind of the biggest challenge, but once the move has been made, everyone kind of takes a deep breath and is able to start to celebrate and get excited about their next chapter and future. So we just want to let you know it is possible. We see it every single day, and we're here to really spread the good word that there's life to live, and we don't have to wait for the fear to be completely gone to live this life. So just imagine for a moment being able to focus on the positive changes that you're going to experience. Get excited and motivated for this move while having peace of mind that the details are all being handled with care by the trusted partners here at Dovetail Companies. If you have any questions, obviously reach out to the communities that you're talking with and working with, but also here at Dovetail Companies, we're happy to help. dovetailcompanies.com, info@Dovetail Companies, or call us anytime for a free consultation, 617-227-1600, extension 1. Look forward to talking with you soon.
For more information, resources, and videos like this, please subscribe, like, and follow Dovetail Companies.